Hello there, people of the internet. I'm out here at my 100-yard mark with my M16 style inspired rifle right here. Attention YouTube reviewer who is inevitably going to have to review this video. This is a semi-automatic firearm, not a machine gun. This is not an actual M16. This is just a dress up to look like an M16. Anyone who knows what an actual M16 looks like would know exactly, you know, they'd be able to call out from a mile away that this right here is not an actual M16. This right here is just an M16 style build rifle based off of a PSA system and a KP-15 lower. And the magazine that we're running out here is a 20 round magazine, but I've only got 15 rounds in it because I'm running a partial box of ammo. And I just wanted to come out here and do some plinking with this rifle, and I figured I'd go ahead and make a video while I do it. So I know I'm out here with this rifle and this magazine right here, but we have a lot of legislation going on right now and a lot of push for gun control on a federal level and also on a state level all across the country. And I just got an email not too terribly long ago from Gun Mag Warehouse. One of the things that is being pushed right now is magazine bans and magazine restrictions and things like that, which I find to be absolute nonsense, and a lot of people find it to be absolutely nonsensical. But that's an argument for a different video. That is what's going on right now, and they're pushing for magazine restrictions and capacity restrictions and things like that. And Gun Mag Warehouse sent me an email. I had recently ordered some AR and some AK mags, standard capacity magazines, 30 rounds, just because I don't have as many as I would like. And I won't be using them on the YouTube channel because YouTube doesn't like standard capacity magazines. But I got an email from Gun Mag Warehouse, and they were saying they apologize for my shipment being delayed because my shipment has been delayed. I ordered this quite some time ago and it's been delayed up until this point. And the reason it's been delayed is because they are experiencing a massive truckload of shipments to all sorts of different places, especially Washington State right now, which is, well, people are buying magazines, standard capacity magazines, by the absolute truckload, as many as they can possibly get their hands on, because of the scare of this legislation that could potentially be coming through. And I bought a couple of magazines just because I wanted more magazines, but I've already got some magazines, right? So these situations do happen, and with the fuel shortages and trucking shortages, labor shortages, and just everything that's going on in the country right now, Gun Mag Warehouse felt that they needed to contact me and apologize for the delay in shipment. If you guys are also experiencing delays in shipment, I'm going to encourage you to be patient. I'm going to just tell you guys right now that there are a lot of people trying to get standard capacity magazines, or not just standard capacity magazines, just firearms paraphernalia. I mean, it is such a common, what am I trying to say here? Standard capacity magazines and firearms paraphernalia in general is so common in this country beyond any sort of recognition. Like, you cannot tell me that standard capacity magazines are not common in this country. They are the most common type of magazine in this country. And all it takes is just one bad apple to, you know, have these anti-gun politicians try and force their agenda through, focused on this one instance and not the other instances where standard capacity magazines have been used to save lives, and etc., etc. And I really don't like how YouTube has gone political with it, but I understand their reasoning behind it. It's got to do with the various sponsors that take hold on it. They don't want the sponsor to be put in front of a video about something that was, you know, used and then frowned upon, such as a rifle that would be a machine gun used in some war somewhere that might potentially be going on right now in Europe, or, you know, some scumbag doing a shooting somewhere with a standard capacity magazine or a drum mag or whatever the hell YouTube doesn't want the sponsors that is paying them to complain that their sponsored advertisement was put on a video where there's such a bad taste in the public mouth of that whatever item it is that is in question. It doesn't necessarily have to be firearms related. It can be, you know, anything related. There's always a push against something out there, and that's just the way of life. But right now, there's a big push against firearms. And if you guys have ordered stuff from, whether or not it's, you know, firearms related accessories or whatever kind of item it is that you've ordered. If you've ordered something and you've got a delay in shipment, especially if it comes to firearm paraphernalia, I absolutely recommend that you guys just, you know, calm down, breathe in, breathe out. Gun Mag Warehouse did assure me that they were going to get me my items. They just told me that it was going to take a little bit because of the massive amount of people that are just ordering standard capacity magazines by the unbelievable truckload. I recommend if you don't have any, go ahead and order yourself some as well, even if it might be a little while before you get them in. Right now, legislation in, I think it's Washington State, is scheduled to start July 1st, I believe. So companies that are selling these standard capacity magazines are trying to get them out and to the banning states as quickly as possible before that ban actually takes effect. So those guys definitely take priorities. My fellow Americans out there who are under the boot of tyranny definitely take priority for getting magazines, because I can literally just like drive down to my local gun store here in Florida and pick up a standard capacity magazine and have it in my hand, you know, in the next half an hour if I felt like it. I just ordered some off the internet so I didn't have to drive 45 minutes to the gun store. And it's just a little bit more convenient, even if I do have to wait for shipment. All right, so I've got some 223, this is tool ammo, and a steel target at 100 yards. Oh boy, that's Kevin. Those who don't know who Kevin is, he's my peacock. I got 4 of them, they're all named Kevin. They're very loud, noisy birds. Welcome to the channel. I really like the 223 round because there's basically zero recoil behind it. Especially when you're firing out of a rifle like this with a nice long barrel. It is a pencil barrel. This rifle is lightweight, but it's just the size of it makes this very easy to shoot. Like whenever I shoot like AR pistols and things like that with short barrels on them, the concussive blast of the 223 is just absolutely overwhelming. Whereas this right here, I mean, it feels like I'm shooting a 22 long rifle. And I think I'm hitting my target. I see some dark spots on the target. I'm a little on the blind side, and at 100 yards I can hit a target, but I can't necessarily tell if I hit the target. And that's just one of the downsides of being blind. So I'm just gonna send more lead down range, and then we'll walk over there and have a look at the target. I think I got like 10 rounds left. Well, I know I'm hitting it because every time I hit the steel, it moves around a little bit. So I'm definitely smacking my target there. The 223 is, you know, very accurate, very useful out to about 500 yards or so. Past that, you lose velocity necessary for terminal ballistics unless you're using a really lightweight projectile. But these right here are just 55 grain projectiles. And as a result, with the 55 grain projectile, they would only be effective out to about 500 yards. You could probably score hits around 700 yards or so, but you lose so much velocity with that, you're basically just going to punch 22 caliber holes inside of whatever target it is that you're hitting. And you're not going to be able to... Where'd my target go? You're not going to be able to do any of the permanent stretch cavity damage that would normally be done with a 223. All right. Well, we're gonna wander down there, look at the target. I just wanna look at it. I imagine it's just a steel target riddled with 223 rounds. But be patient, guys. You'll get your stuff, I'll get my stuff. There's no real rush for it for us unless you are in one of these states that is dealing with one of these restrictions and you're on a time limit. Then I could understand why you guys would be a little on the eager side to get your things. But relax, they're working really hard to make sure that you get your things on time. And if you're not in one of those states, relax, you'll also get your stuff. We just have some Americans that are going down. They're going down fighting, mind you. They're buying mags and trying to keep their freedom, but they are being forcibly put under the boot of tyranny. Well, let me go ahead and do the outro here. Thanks for watching, folks. Subscribe to the channel, like the video. Description down below has a link to all sorts of stuff. Go ahead and go check that out. Now we're going to walk down to the target, see what that looks like, and then I'm going to walk over that way and grab something to hydrate myself with. And yeah, it's Florida, summer, June, the middle of June. It's like 98 degrees outside right now, and humidity is through the roof. So it's quite uncomfortable out here. Let's walk down to the target, see what we're looking like. All right, as promised, here's our steel target. It just kind of flops right here, and that's what she looks like. I see 1, 2, 3, hold on. All right, we got 1, 2, 3. I saw a fourth one down there. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 12 rounds on target. I imagine that a few of them probably went up top over here. So there's our target being riddled with our M16 rounds. Of course, here in the center, right there, that's pretty mangled and messed up. Perhaps we had some more rounds hit right there, but I'm just calling what I can actually see on target immediately right now. Been a little while since I've done this. Bonnie and Clyde be damned. Poor man's Garen. It's a shame that bolt-action shotguns aren't more mainstream.